There is quite a lot of human clinical research on both the lion's mane fruit body and the lion's mane mushroom mycelium and its ability to support cognitive functioning, memory, mood, and nerve support. It's also a mushroom, beneficial mushroom that deeply can support our digestive system health. Many people
Mm,
just mix them into water or tea or coffee or juice. They just mix it into a beverage that they're consuming. When I
right.
take my powders, which I did a few hours ago this morning, I just mix mine into my first glass of water.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 192 of the Healthy Habit Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Dayan of Healthy Habit Medical Center, located right inside Healthy Habit Health Foods at 6029 North 7th Street, right on the corner of Bethany Home Road and 7th Street here in central Phoenix, Arizona. And today we're speaking with Mr. Richard Cividanes here, talking all things host defense mushrooms in our monthly check-in with host defense. Richard Cividanes, National Science Educator at Host Defense Mushrooms, has over 25 years involvement with the natural products industry. His experience includes working as a staff member in health food stores and natural food co-ops in New York and Washington State. Richard's part of the family who founded Topical BioMedics and developed the award-winning homeopathic topical brand Topricin. That's Topricin. He was their brand manager and educator for 15 years, where he regularly traveled the country educating thousands of retail staff and medical professionals on the benefits of homeopathic Topricin. And today we're going to be diving in through looking at topics such as powders, which allow stronger doses and smaller serving sizes versus something like capsules, tablets. We'll be differentiating lion's mane and turkey tail mushroom. A lot of people are familiar with lion's mane. They may have not heard of mushrooms such as Agarikon, turkey tail. We're going to discuss Paul Stamets' favorite bundle and much more. Richard, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, doctor. Nice to see you again today.
Thanks for being here on episode 192, Richard. We appreciate your consistency. Richard's been with us back on episode 162 and others such as let's see here, we had episode 155 and much more, 144 and more. Just go to our YouTube channel and type in Cividanes or Richard in the search bar under the Healthy Habit Podcast channel, both on Spotify or YouTube. You can see all of our past check-ins with Richard. And we're going to dive into this one. How are you feeling this morning? How are you feeling today, Richard?
I'm feeling great, doctor. Thanks so much. Yeah, the sun is shining here in Northern California where I live,
Yeah.
and it's very welcomed. It's been a dark and damp couple of weeks here.
Richard, we always have new listeners tuning in here to the podcast that have maybe never even heard of host defense, or they heard a family friend or someone tell them about the benefits of using mushrooms as supplements. So let's highlight host defense mushrooms real quick. What separates host defense from other companies that may or may not offer mushrooms in general? What's going to be separating this wonderful company, Host Defense Mushrooms?
Yeah, thank you. And there are a few things that definitely set us apart from some of the other businesses. We're really excited to see all of this interest flourishing out here in the world of the mushroom supplement industry. Host Defense Mushrooms is the product that is created by a company called Fungi Perfecti. Fungi Perfecti was started back in 1980 by mycologist Paul Stamets, Stamets. Paul is one of the leading mycological voices here in North America. He has created and written 7, soon to be 8 books on mushrooms. He's publishing a new book this coming summer. And so Paul has been working with mushrooms his entire life. Since he was a late teen is when he started studying them. He began the business in 1980, and he has been growing mushroom fruit bodies and mushroom mycelium for a very, very long time. Paul is deeply interested in the research of these organisms and their capacity to support not only human health and wellness, but also health of different ecosystems, sister species of humans like the honeybee. And Paul has created his own research laboratory that is on the facilities of the Fungi Perfecti company. And he employs a group of research doctors and laboratory technicians that full time do research in our lab specific to the different types of beneficial mushrooms that we grow and create for our supplement line.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Paul, he even has his own YouTube channel. You can go to YouTube, just type in Paul Stamets, and then of course hostdefense.com. He's in there as well in the About Us, but they have a blog and much more. We'll highlight them here today. And I'm going to do a quick screen share because I want to start off with the classic for mental clarity, focus, memory and nerve support. We want to highlight the lion's mane powder, which is actually one of Paul's picks. And I'll do a quick screen share as you start introducing us into the world of lion's mane mushroom. Specifically, we want to highlight the powder here today. Can you see our screen share here, Richard?
Yep, it's coming up right now. Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
Yep,
There we go. We got the
absolutely.
lion's mane powder. Tell us about this one. A lot of people have heard of lion's mane, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, thank you. So lion's mane, as the name suggests, it kind of does have the appearance in nature of looking like a lion's mane. This is a fungal organism that sometimes is referred to as a tooth mushroom because of the way that the fruit body is created and generated. And there is quite a lot of human clinical research on both the lion's mane fruit body and the lion's mane mushroom mycelium and its ability to support cognitive functioning, memory, mood, and nerve support. It's also a mushroom, beneficial mushroom that deeply can support our digestive system health.
Yeah.
And I love this connection for lion's mane. We now know that we have over 100 million neurons in our digestive system. Going back to when I was a kid, I remember, some of those communications about like, what is your gut telling you? And anytime you get nervous, you get those butterflies in your belly. And now we
Right.
really understand that there is part of our brain nervous system that exists within our digestive tract. And this is a mushroom that deeply connects both of these important organ systems. Not only has it been found to support cognitive functioning, memory, and other neurological support mechanisms, but it also has been found to deeply support our digestive system as well. It helps with the proliferation of probiotic microfloral organisms. They literally use the lion's mane as a food source themselves, as a prebiotic, and they digest the lion's mane after we've consumed it. And lion's mane also plays a beautiful role in supporting the integrity of the types of cells that create the barrier in our digestive system.
Right.
So research in both of those places, memory, cognitive functioning, mood support, as well as digestive system support in regards to barrier tissue support and the microbiome as well.
Interesting. That's fascinating. Even though on the bottle here at the bottom it says the memory and nerve support, there's only so much we can fit on the front label, correct? But
That's
yeah,
correct.
a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people.
But
Go ahead.
one of the
Yeah.
real beautiful pieces to many of these beneficial mushrooms is that the research has shown that they have this pretty consistent overlapping organ system support and immune system support as well. For instance, here going back to lion's mane, the research shows that lion's mane will moderately support your immune response. So even if you're taking it as a first line supplement because you're wanting to support cognitive functioning and your memory,
Yeah.
you're also moderately supporting your immune response. You're supporting your digestive system's microbiome and the barrier in your digestive system. And we see this across many different beneficial mushroom species, this overlapping support that they provide to multiple body systems and our immune system simultaneously.
So I guess it's kind of assumed we can make that leap that if you can take care of your gut health and have a good, strong microbiome, that's going to help with memory, brain health, mood support, mental health in general, correct? There's a strong link between gut health and memory and brain health in general, correct?
It really seems to be that way. I mean, that's the direction that a lot of the research is moving, and
Yeah.
the ability to see how, the health and the health that's occurring within our large intestine, for instance, is being shown to play a pretty crucial role in our brain and cognitive
Yeah.
engagements, as well as in our immune system surveillance and immune system health as well. So there are some traditions in the world that really do consider like all health or dis-ease to begin within the digestive system or the gut. And if you can create that strong foundation there, you have the ability for it to really significantly support multiple body systems at the same time.
Right. There's tons of research coming out on dementia and improper microbiome health, where they have way more of the bad bacteria in the gut and the large intestine, the colon, versus the good bacteria, much stronger association with dementia. So there's a good strong link there. Of course, we're not here to give any medical advice. We're just talking what's available and some research that's out there and some products that others have found benefit with. So tell us then, real quick, the benefit of a powder versus something like capsules or tablets, because one thing that stands out here, you can even see in just a half a teaspoon, 1.5 grams of this lion's mane, you're getting a full 1.5 grams of the desiccated lion's, or the mycelium, the fermented biomass, in just half a teaspoon. So is it true that in powders we can make it more potent per serving size? We can get more?
Absolutely. And that's one of the beautiful things about having the powder as a delivery system. We want to make sure
Yeah.
people have choice. That's first and foremost important because everybody is slightly different. Some people
Yeah.
don't mind taking capsules and that's what they want to do. Some people cannot and or won't want to take any more capsules. Some people love utilizing liquid extracts, and for other reasons, sometimes people, shy away from those. The powder is another delivery system. It's the same material for us that is inside our capsules.
Got it.
It's just it's not encapsulated. And so a couple of excellent benefits here. One, the mushroom mycelium only powders, like we're looking at here for the lion's mane, very neutral in flavor. So they will not adversely affect whatever you're putting the powders into. Many people
Mm,
just mix them into water or tea or coffee or juice. They just mix it into a beverage that they're consuming. When I
right.
take my powders, which I did a few hours ago this morning, I just mix mine into my first glass of water. Very
Okay.
neutral. You don't taste it. If you put them into food and you can cook with them, it's not going to alter the flavor of your food. So we
Okay.
have people like you could put the lion's mane powder in the pancakes you're making in the morning, or
Okay.
over, spoon it over your bowl of oatmeal that you might be consuming. You could mix it into your eggs if you're scrambling eggs in the morning and cook the
Okay.
eggs with it. Then you're getting the mushroom as a supplement delivered to you right in the food that you're also consuming. The one caveat with cooking it is we don't want anyone to cook it for too long a period of
Oh,
time at too high a temperature.
makes sense.
So putting it into a meal at the end of the cooking, or if
Right.
you're doing something like making pancakes or eggs where they're only cooking for a few minutes on the heat, that is absolutely fine to do. I really like the powder opportunity. Like half a teaspoon is 1.5 grams. You could ramp that up to doing 3 half teaspoons in the day. Now you're getting 4.5 grams of that mushroom material and in its concentrated form in that powder. That's a significant serving throughout the day. And we always suggest that people, one to 1.5 grams a day is great for maintenance, ongoing support.
Right.
If you're really wanting more significant support or more kind of acute support, we definitely suggest people ramp up the serving. And with the powder, it's very easy to do that. If you were to take 4.5 grams in capsules, that you're consuming a large amount of capsules that you have to
Right.
take throughout the day. Whereas it's just three half teaspoons of powder mixed into a food or a beverage. The other benefit of the powders, and this one I think too for many people is a big selling point, is the price.
Mm.
Because we don't have to encapsulate it, the price for us goes significantly down and that gets
Okay.
passed along. So just as a for instance, 100-gram powder canister is going to get you 66 1.5 gram servings of the lion's mane. That is the same price as a 30-day supply of 1 gram a day capsules. So you're
Mm.
getting far more material in the powder format than you would in the capsule format. And I always highly suggest if it's palatable for you, and again, the mycelium only powders are quite neutral in flavor. I always try to engage people to go the powder direction because you get easier delivery system. You can increase the amount you're utilizing in the day.
Yeah.
Really simple. And again, price point for many people, we're definitely watching what we're buying because of the
Right.
costs.
Yeah, exactly. And so most Americans in general, people in North America, they're not eating tons of mushrooms, especially not functional mushrooms like this, or incorporating it into their meals, or you can add it to your coffee or tea. Like you said, water, it mixes easily.
Mixes very easily.
Beautiful.
You just stir it up, drink it down. I put it probably in, three or 4 ounces of water this morning. Just stirred it up, and yeah, it mixes quite easily.
Amazing. So that's the lion's mane. Again, a quick summary there: memory, nerve support. It's going to help increase gut integrity as well with the barrier, that one cell layer thickness of the gut lining. But then also general immune support. That's one of the commonalities that a lot of mushrooms bring to the table, right? But then they each have their own little unique benefits, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Of all of the beneficial mushrooms that have ever been studied in research, they have all been found to, in some way, impact the immune response.
Yeah.
Some do it more efficiently than others, but even a mushroom like the lion's mane, it will moderately support the immune response, and that's significant when you're
Right.
thinking about consuming something like this, a beneficial mushroom on a day-to-day basis. That additional immune system support that is happening in the background can be really helpful for certain individuals.
Thank you, Richard. Again, lion's mane, host defense mushrooms. This is the powder. They do have a tincture capsule version available, sure, but like we just talked
Mhm.
about, all the benefits of the powder. Plus, there's less additional excipients added in there in the other ingredients in powders. It's usually just straight pure, as little other ingredients as possible is what I've noticed across
That's correct.
powders. So again, that's the lion's mane mushroom mycelium powder. It tells us the part of the mushroom that's being used medicinally. So turkey tail is next up on the menu here, less known, but equally important and beneficial. That's why Paul's favorite bundle, or one of his favorite bundles, includes all three of these, including the Agarikon. But there's that lion's mane that we just covered. Next
Mhm.
up, in this case of Paul's favorite bundle, this particular trifecta is the capsule version of the turkey tail, but we'll kind of bounce back and forth with the powder and the capsule version. So tell us about turkey tail. Why is this a good pair with lion's mane, Richard?
Sure. Well, turkey tail is it's a pretty remarkable mushroom. It's quite ubiquitous. It grows in many places around planet Earth. It is one of the most deeply researched of all of the beneficial mushrooms. And it has been found the mushroom mycelium, as well as the mushroom fruit bodies, they naturally contain compounds, polysaccharides and terpene compounds, antioxidant compounds that have been found to significantly support the human immune response as well as our digestive system. Again, we have, and you see there in that structure function panel at the bottom of the powder canister there, microbiome and immune support.
Right.
So in its immune support functions, turkey tail really can significantly support what's known as extracellular immunity, and that has to do with our immune cells and their ability for doing surveillance in our body. This is a place where a lot of the research has looked and found even our turkey tail mycelium and fermented substrate have been subjected to both human clinical trials and human tissue culture
Mm.
studies that have been published, and we have found significant immune cell engagement as well as the ability for turkey tail to help move the immune system through its pacification and clearance stages in a moderate impact. So if and when a person is really wanting to support their immune cell health and their immune system surveillance capacity, turkey tail is most definitely a mushroom species to think about and remember. For us, we have it as a standalone that you're seeing here, like in the powder, capsules, or extract. It's also one of the immune supporting mushrooms that you find across many of our immune supporting formulas. And that's because it's just such an amazing mushroom based on the last many numbers of decades of research on that specific species. And just like the lion's mane will support the digestive system in regards to it acting as a prebiotic, turkey
Right.
tail has been found to be a very powerful prebiotic substance. So it too feeds the resident microflora in our digestive system. We now know that the microflora and our microbiome is really our primary immune system. It is interacting with our immune cells in our digestive system every moment of the day. It's helping to create maturity of those immune cells and help to provide them with information that allows them to do their jobs as immune cells more efficiently.
Right.
And turkey tail can help to build that resilience of diversity within the digestive system that can go a long way, again, in supporting not only digestive health, but immune health and other organ system health as well. Now, the one other piece about turkey tail that I do want to mention, because
Yeah.
there is some significant research on it as well, is in its ability to support liver detoxification pathways. So if and when a person's wanting to give their liver a little bit more love,
Yeah.
turkey tail is also a mushroom species that the research shows that it supports the detox pathways that is one of the really important roles of the liver. So we got liver health, microbiome support, and significant immune system support, all coming from this one single mushroom species.
Incredible breakdown. And then we have a 100 gram and 200 gram option as well. Those two options for the powders. And
Mhm.
again, vegan, gluten free, eco packaging, non GMO, USDA organic. How many certifications you guys need? This is perfect.
We have
We got them all.
quite a number of them.
We've got them all. And I just want to pan down here real quick. This is straight from hostdefense.com. If you're listening on audio, I highly suggest you go check it out. It's all laid out there on the website. No fillers, it's emphasized here at Host Defense, powered by mushroom mycelium, a filler which is an additive or ingredient that either serves to add bulk or weight to the end product, but that has no discernible health benefit. And there are no fillers used in Host Defense products. Instead, we have both the mushroom mycelium and the fermented rice substrate in our supplements that have been research tested and shown to offer health supporting benefits without those fillers, which is good. Talk about how important that is.
Yeah, it is important, and this is an aspect that has gotten some people confused in the industry. That say, there's some marketing out there that's educating people that if a mushroom product has a grain like rice in it, all you're
Yeah.
getting is filler, and the rice is not a filler. That's why if you look on our supplement facts panel, you see it in the white portion of the panel. It says mushroom mycelium slash fermented brown rice biomass. That fermented brown rice has been researched, and we have found that it is significantly immunologically active. It is an active ingredient within the host defense line. That
Yeah.
mycelium and fermented rice combination really is the magic that creates the entire brand of host defense. Even when we're doing extracts and we're extracting the mycelium and the fermented substrate along with mushroom fruit bodies, that mycelium, you find it across our line because, again, of the benefits, the different types of immune supporting compounds that we find within the mushroom mycelium.
Yeah.
And so there are no fillers in anything within the host defense line. You won't find them. That fermented rice is an active part of the product itself. And it is something important to remember. Here at Host Defense, again, Paul Stamets, leading mycological voice here in North America. Paul loves mushrooms, and we do too. And it's important to remember that mushroom mycelium and mushroom fruit bodies are the two different sides of the same organism's life cycle. And the
Right.
mushroom mycelium literally builds mushroom fruit bodies directly out of the mycelial network by
Wow.
laminating its own cells together. And it builds that fruit body in order to create the release of spores, which allows the organism to proliferate within its ecosystem. So that mycelium builds the fruit body. The fruit body releases spores that go on to build more mycelium. So what we're doing is we're utilizing both sides of these organisms and all of these health supporting compounds that they have been found to naturally produce.
Right. You can see here the mycelium and the fermented brown rice biomass is what's included in the powder. So, and the
That's right.
mycelium, that
Yep.
would be like the roots, essentially, the mycelium.
That's a way to think about it because it oftentimes grows underground, but they do far more than roots do.
Got it.
Every
Interesting.
life function, yeah, every life function for the organism except for reproduction happens in the
Wow.
mycelium. So the mycelium is directing growth patterns. It's growing. It's creating a range of immune compounds and antioxidants that support its own cellular integrity in the ecosystems that it's living in. It's producing digestive enzymes that are released and then breaking down and assimilating their food into the mycelial cells. Every aspect of its life functioning, except for those productions of spores, happens within the mycelium. So it's much more enzymatically and metabolically active than a plant's root system would be.
Fascinating. Didn't had no idea that's interesting right there. Plural would be mycelia.
Mycelia, I
Perfect.
believe so, yes.
Gotcha. Thank you for that breakdown, Richard. That's going to help a lot of people. And then we'll do a quick highlight on this Paul's favorite bundle here with the turkey tail, lion's mane that we just covered, and then Agarikon. Why do you believe he chose these three in particular? Maybe my guess, correct me if I'm wrong, is it's going to hit not only the immune system but multiple organ systems in like a 3-pack. It's not overwhelming to narrow it down to maybe 3 mushrooms as a starting point for people that have never included supplemental mushrooms into their diet. But why these 3 in particular? And we're coming to the tail end here, so it'll be a good summary and maybe hit on that Agarikon as well, why he included those with the other 2 we talked about today.
Certainly, and thanks again for the opportunity. So,
Yeah,
the reason that Paul has bundled the Agarikon and turkey tail together is because of the profound immune system support that both of these mushrooms provide. Going back to what I mentioned about turkey tail, I said the word extracellular, right? And turkey
right.
tail has been found to help support our immune cells in their ability to surveil and pay attention to what's happening around them in our body. Agarikon plays a very significant role in our intracellular immunity, and that has to do with the immune health that occurs within each and every one of our cells. This is a mushroom that is deeply been focused on by Fungi Perfecti, Host Defense, and Paul. It is a very endangered species, hard to find out in the wild. We have amassed a library of cultures, over 100 Agarikon strains that we are
Wow.
studying, doing genetic sequencing on. The research that we've done across our line so far, Agarikon is the mushroom that has had the most significant support across all the different stages of the human immune response. And so turkey tail, you get that extracellular immune support. Agarikon, you're getting intracellular immune support. That 2 mushroom combination is a fantastic combination to consider for immune health. And again, it's why we find Agarikon and turkey tail across many of our immune supporting formulas in combination as well. And then obviously the turkey tail and Agarikon, they're supporting immune health, digestive health, liver health. The lion's mane is also one of Paul's favorite mushrooms.
Hmm.
Again, for anybody who's aging, and I think that's all of
That's
us,
all of us.
it can really, the research has found that when people are already starting to move into certain phases of cognitive decline, lion's mane can really support that cognitive functioning, the memory that's so important for all of us. And then again, we're going back to it also supporting digestive
The
health
gut
and
health, yeah.
immune support health. So these 3 mushrooms, you're getting multi-body organ system support, immune system support. And I think that's why those are Paul's pick here at the moment. That turkey tail agarikon combination is one that I think anybody who's interested in using mushrooms to support immune system health want to remember that 2 mushroom combo there.
Yeah, then you're going to be getting it from extracellular and the intracellular aspects of the immune system. Plus, you got the lion's mane there to tighten up the gut junctions, the microbiome, the mental health, memory, nerve support, all that. So you're going to be hitting multiple areas of your health. But yes, that's a great highlight. You can tell here that on the Agarikon, it simply says at the bottom, immune response, supports a balanced immune response. So it's extra powerful when it comes to the immune system. And like you highlighted earlier, Richard, turkey tail is one of the most deeply researched functional mushrooms, which I'll definitely do a highlight of that before this episode is aired. So thank you so much, my friend. If we don't stop here, I'll keep you for 2 hours. We can go deeper and deeper and deeper on this stuff. So what's a good for a place people can learn more, a good place to stay in contact, hostdefense.com and maybe Paul Stamets on Instagram and YouTube. Is that a good starting point?
I think those are great starting points. If you go to hostdefense.com, we have lots of blogs and information that you can look through, a whole range of information about beneficial mushrooms.
Yeah.
If you go to YouTube or Instagram and search Paul Stamets, you'll see lots of his TED Talks and keynote speeches that he has given over the years. So if the mushrooms are of interest to you, I would say definitely introduce yourself to Paul and vice versa, and learn from one of the people who has been embedded in this research and science for his entire adult life. This is his life's work, and it's so wonderful to be able to be communicating about the work that Paul has done and the interest that his work has actually helped to provide to so many people in the country that are now, really going crazy for the mushrooms.
Right. Oh yeah, they've definitely hit the radar on the health conscious world, the last 5, 10 years. So And it makes it easy, I'm sure, to have these interviews and these discussions when everything's being, taken care of with the labeling, the certifications, the process of growing everything, the organic. I'm sure it makes it really easy to free flow and discuss this stuff, right, Richard?
Absolutely. Yeah. The integrity of the business is of paramount importance to Paul and the
Yeah.
leadership. So we take everything in the responsibility that we have in providing supplementation to individuals extremely seriously. And we make sure that we're dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, so to speak, and making sure that the products we're producing are both safe and also effective for the folks who are choosing to use them.
Thank you for your time, my friend. Appreciate your
Thank
consistency
you.
and always keeping us informed here. And I look forward to our next one, Richard.
Thank you. Me too. I appreciate your time today. Thanks.